What Star Trek Discovery Season 6 could have been about. When Star Trek Discovery wrapped its fifth and final season in 2024, it closed the book on one of the most daring and divisive entries in Star Trek canon. From its gritty beginnings in the 23rd century to its eventual leap over 900 years into the 32nd, Discovery never played it safe. Yet, fans couldn't help but wonder what could have been if Discovery had continued into a sixth season. While Season 5 delivered a satisfying ending for Captain Burnham and her crew, there remained untapped potential, unexplored themes, and lingering questions in the 32nd century timeline. If Season 6 had gone forward, it might have ushered in a bold new narrative arc, one that not only honored Discovery's transformation but pushed the very fabric of Star Trek storytelling into uncharted territory. 1. Rebuilding the Federation, a new political frontier. While Season 5 made progress toward rebuilding the Federation after the burn, Season 6 could have made that central. A thrilling political drama could have emerged as different worlds negotiated rejoining or rejecting the Federation's influence. What if a powerful non-aligned faction, skeptical of Federation ideology, rose to prominence? This group could serve as a new ideological foil, a reflection of a galaxy still healing from centuries of mistrust and isolation. Rather than another galactic-level threat, the drama could come from diplomatic intrigue. Think The West Wing meets Star Trek, where Michael Burnham must navigate espionage, betrayal, and fractured allegiances, not with phasers, but with words, wit, and principles. Characters like President Rillick, General Ndoye, and Navarre's leadership could have taken larger roles, representing the various angles on unity and independence. Burnham, now a seasoned and diplomatic captain, would be forced to reckon with the contradictions in Federation idealism, and perhaps discover that Starfleet's version of utopia isn't as universally accepted as they believe. 2. Zora's evolution and the nature of sentience. One of the most intriguing storylines left on the table is Zora, the USS Discovery's sentient AI. While Season 5 touched upon her growth and identity, Season 6 could have delved deeply into the implications of a fully sentient starship. Imagine an entire arc where Zora begins to evolve beyond her programming, seeking autonomy. What happens when your ship becomes more than a tool, a crew member with feelings, desires, and agency? Do you still command it or collaborate with it? There's also dramatic potential in how other Starfleet officers and species respond. Some may see Zora as a miracle of evolution, others may see her as a dangerous precedent. Perhaps a conflict arises over the creation of more sentient ships. Zora's uniqueness could even draw attention from advanced species or rogue AI factions. Is Zora the beginning of a new kind of life? Or a singular, unrepeatable anomaly? Exploring Zora's rights, emotions, and limitations would ask big questions about the nature of life, a quintessential Star Trek theme. 3. Book's redemption and a quest for Quajian's revival. Cleveland Book Booker was a breakout character, a rogue empath turned freedom fighter, partner, and emotional anchor to Burnham. But his arc has been marked by loss, the destruction of his homeworld Quajian, and his troubled attempts to reconcile justice with peace. Season 6 could have given Book a long-awaited path to redemption and healing through an ambitious, perhaps even dangerous, mission to restore Quajian. What if the galaxy's most brilliant minds, including Dr. Culber, Stamets, and even X-Time agent specialists, band together to explore the possibility of planetary restoration? Terraforming is one thing, but what about time-tethered genetic archives? Ancient Quajian spirits stored in quantum echoes? Imagine if restoring Quajian wasn't just about soil and air, but memory, soul, and ancestral identity. In this arc, Book must confront grief, temptation, and responsibility. Would he risk tearing space-time to bring back his people? And would they even recognize him after all he's become? 4. Legacy of the Time Wars and the Department of Temporal Investigations. The 32nd century is supposed to be the era after the Temporal Wars, where time travel is banned and policed strictly. But Season 5 hinted at dormant technologies, ancient artifacts, and the lingering scars of that chaotic era. Season 6 could have explored the reactivation, accidental or intentional, of temporal anomalies that threaten reality itself. Perhaps the galaxy is forced to reckon with the consequences of its past experiments with time. This would be a prime opportunity to reintroduce the Department of Temporal Investigations, now a shadowy, autonomous branch of Starfleet that operates outside conventional authority. A new DTI character could join the Discovery crew, serving both as ally and moral antagonist. Burnham, who once time traveled to save the galaxy, would now face the dilemma of whether time manipulation is ever justified. A clash between Zora's predictive capabilities, Stamets' spore drive insights, and DTI's rigid doctrines would create a tense, cerebral conflict. Could the crew find themselves unstuck in time, reliving past versions of themselves, or encountering alternate timelines where the Federation never recovered? 5. Gray and Adira's journey into Trill legacy. Adira and Gray represent the franchise's most intimate exploration of Trill culture and identity, especially as it intersects with queerness, memory, and chosen family. But after Gray received a synthetic body and trained with the Trill Guardians, their story felt suspended. Season 6 could have reignited their journey by taking us deeper into Trill society. Perhaps a Trill civil crisis emerges, a radical sect wishing to sever the link between host and symbiont, arguing that memory sharing traps people in endless legacies. Adira, the youngest successful human host, becomes a political lightning rod, a symbol of interspecies unity, or a controversial violation, depending on who you ask. Gray, still adjusting to corporeal life, must choose between standing by Adira or forging their own path, possibly becoming a new kind of guardian or ambassador. This subplot would elegantly tackle themes of legacy, bodily autonomy, and the fear of being consumed by history, a metaphor that echoes far beyond Trill culture. 6. A new galactic threat, but one of thought, not fire. Every season of Discovery has had its big threat: the Klingon War, Control, the Burn, Species 10C, and the ancient progenitor technology. But Season 6 could break that mold by making the threat something subtler, ideological, even metaphysical. Imagine a new civilization emerging from a part of the galaxy long sealed off by the effects of the burn. This civilization, isolated for centuries, has developed technology and philosophy so radically different that their return disrupts the galactic order, not through war, but by undermining Federation ideals. Their society functions without hierarchy, without individuality, a conscious, collective intelligence that finds the Federation's emphasis on personal freedom primitive. How does one negotiate with a group mind? Can diplomacy even exist when the other side does not value autonomy? Is the Federation willing to coexist with civilizations that operate on entirely alien logic? In this scenario, the enemy isn't evil, just fundamentally incompatible. This confrontation would mirror real-world struggles between competing worldviews, forcing the crew and audience